Hello everyone, MB Electronics MicroVision, the computer game system. Let's do this. So this belongs to my friend, and he didn't tell me what was wrong with it, or he might have done, but I forgot. So, ooh, there we go, that's nice. It's got something on the screen, it looks a bit... got a very nice pouch. Anyway, yeah, so he said... I think he did say it was the screen. It's got the battery cover on it. Now, I've never owned one of these, but I think these games... Well, you can buy new different games for them. There we go. How did they come out, though? There we go. So, you presume you just buy that bit, and you just slide new games on. That's obviously the key membrane under there. We've got the screen here, which does look like it's got some staining on it. Can you see that? Don't know what that is. Some kind of shielding of some description. We've got cartridge pins up there at the top. We've got a little rotating paddly type thing, and that's about it. That's presumably brightness control. Right, well, let's see what batteries it takes. Wow. Is that two 9-volt batteries? Jeez. Let's put some batteries in. You all know how this works, right? Right. Oh, I presume it's not going to work without the cartridge in either. Slide that in. And power it on. Ooh. Well, oh, well, that doesn't look right, does it? It's making some funky noises. That might be the game, I don't know. Maybe it's the screen. Well, the pixels look okay, but they're just square blocks. But the game is called Blockbuster, so... But none of the buttons seem to do anything. Well, I said that does, so every time I press that, it goes burp, burp. Or sometimes it goes burp. Okay, maybe that was just... Shut up! Maybe that was just a coincidence. Right, well, there's obviously something going wrong, but I don't know if it's the game or the console. I don't have another game either, which is not good. But anyway, let's take it apart and let's see if we can see anything obviously wrong with it. Right, well, let's start by taking it apart and just having a look to see if we can see anything immediately obvious. Let's take out the game. It looks like we just have 6 screws on the back. Right, just while I'm taking this apart, I just need to give a big shout out again to my Holy Hand Grenade patron, Tidder. Thanks, Tidder. And all my other patrons for your support. It's really, really appreciated. God, these screws are long. Let's fast forward. Oh, I didn't take the batteries out. Oops. Okay. Oh, that was easy. What have we got here then? We have a whatever that is. Some kind of voltage regulatory type thing, I imagine. There's a potentiometer there, which is for the brightness, I presume. Switch here, which was all working. That's the paddle. So that's another kind of potentiometer. A couple of caps, some resistors. Everything looks alright. The caps don't look blown. Resistors look fine. A little chip there. And it was examined by examiner number 6. Right, well, let's take these 4 screws out and see what's underneath here. In fact, I don't need to do that. It just lifts up. What an idiot. I might have to do it at some point. Oh, God. Oh, everything just kind of falls out. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, God. Oh. I know this was made in like 1979 or whatever it was, but that's just not great. I don't like that. Everything's just flapping around. Right, so that must be the connector for the cartridge. So I'm going to leave that there because that doesn't appear to screw in or anything. And the contacts on that look super clean. So I'll leave that in so I don't forget which way around it goes. Well, everything looks alright apart from the screen. Ah, and the membrane. I'm not going to mess about with that too much because I remember, I think Vince did one of these, and the membrane, where it folds there, it basically completely gone. Yeah, alright, well let's not mess about with that too much because that might be working. I think it's probably this screen. But is the screen damaged or is the screen dirty or what? It looks damaged. Right, well now I think it's time to take those other screws out. Let's have a look. Right, well it's just a plastic cover. It's a polarising film, and unfortunately it's not the polarising film that's got the marks on it. So is this just a zebra connector screen? You remember how much I loved zebra connectors from my last one? Yes, I think it is. I can see one there. Right, well let's see if we can gently remove this elastomeric connector. Well, that one's come up. There we go. Nice. Well, it all looks fine, doesn't it? I think, what am I going to do here? Is it this, maybe this silver that's got the marks on it? Let's have a look. Yes, it is, I think. So that's just a reflective backing, isn't it? Aha. Well, I don't know, I'll try and clean that up. If it doesn't clean up, then I'll be able to replace it with something. And then what I think I'll do is I'll clean all of these connectors on here and clean this part down here. It all looks perfect. Oh look, Milton Bradley. That's what MB stands for. Right, well I'm definitely going to clean all that up and see if that makes any difference. I can't see. I mean, it's like I say, it's incredibly clean. This. There's no corrosion. There's no signs of anything really. There's no dirt, right? You know, you'd expect to see something. It's just in very, very nice condition. So if it's not the screen being a bit dirty, I don't know what it is, but let's start with the screen. Let's see if that does make any difference to it, and then I'll start worrying about the other bits. I suppose the other thing I should do while I'm cleaning is open up this game cartridge and just check that that is the same, i.e. very clean. Okay, looks like it's spring loaded. There we go. Well, this does have a few marks on it, but they look like factory marks. The pins there look okay. There's a little bit of wear on these ones, but it's not bad. But I'll clean them. And then on this side we've got capacitors, diode, some resistors, and a transistor. Yeah, I'm a bit worried because I can't. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing visibly obviously wrong with this. All right, well let's clean it up and let's see how we get on. That just shows you, doesn't it? Even though it looks super clean, there's quite a lot of dirt that's come off. Same for that one as well. Right, that doesn't come off on the. Oh, hang on, can I just flip that round? I don't see why not. I just use the other side of it. Okay, so let's just quickly reassemble that and just see if that's made any difference whatsoever. Nice. Well, let's see if it's doing anything different now. Oh. Well, it certainly looks different. Still making the same noises. Still not right, is it? It looks a little bit dimmer, but that's possibly because of the reflective backing. But yeah, that's still not the game, is it? Just trying to put pressure on the screen just to see if that changes anything, but it doesn't appear to be. Oh dear. I've got a horrible feeling that, yeah, exactly, that I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. Oh, I wish I had another game to test it with. I might have to buy one and come back to this video. Right, I've just looked on eBay and the games are like 30-40 quid, so I ain't paying that for something that isn't mine, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to take it apart again. I'm going to have another look at it. Obviously the cleaning did nothing, but you know, it could be something else that's not working. So let's crack it open again. Yes. Crack! Nice. Right, well, I think what I'm going to try and do, I have no idea whether it's going to work or not, is I'm going to try and put the screen on. I'm going to try and connect my bench power supply and put 9 volts in. It's really hard to get all this lined up. There we go. I don't know whether you can see that, but it is just doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, so I'm putting different amounts of pressure on there, and it's not the game, that is it? No. Right, so what else could it be? If let's assume the screen is okay and that it is something else that's faulty, what else could it be that's causing it to do that? So it's playing the sound. I mean, straight away, as soon as you know it's playing the sound but not the game, I'm just assuming it's a screen problem again. But we all know what happens when you assume. You make an S out of you and me. And we all know what happens when you make an assumption. You make an ass out of you and umption. The difficulty with this is, so I could leave the bench power supply on and I could try and follow voltages around, but the game doesn't actually, or the unit doesn't draw any amps until the game's connected. So I don't think it's gonna do anything. We get 9 volts there. At this voltage regulator, 0.7. So up here, we're getting 9 volts there, and then that goes to that pin there, also 9 volts, which goes to the game. So it looks like the 9 volts comes back out of the game, so it goes in through there, it must come back out from the cartridge through there and then back in. So without the cartridge connected, can't really check anything else around here, and it's almost impossible to connect the cartridge because we've just got this connector that just floats around. But let's just double check that. So if we've got them connected, the 9 volts goes in through this big pad. Ah, okay, so those two, it just joins it together. So when it's connected, it joins these 2 pins together here, which then sends the 9 volts back into this board. So if I just bridge those, that would be doing the same thing, right? It'll be fun, if nothing else, if something explodes. Right, so then we should have 9 volts here now, which we do. And also here, which we do. And we should also have it on the voltage regulator here, which we do. And then coming out of the voltage regulator, we've got 6.7 volts and 3.6 volts. And that goes to, let's follow the 6.7, goes to there, drops to 5.3, 5.3, 5.3 and then it disappears. So I'm guessing it goes into the... where does that go? Must be something on the other side. Ah, it's the resistor. Okay, so yes, there's a couple of resistors. So once it's gone to there, the 5.3, it jumps across to there. And it's lowered now to 3.6, which will probably change depending on where that potentiometer is for the screen. So that's the brightness of the screen. So the screen is getting 3.6 volts. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the power side of it. So that only really leaves a problem with the game cart, which it could be. I don't know, I don't have another one to test. The chip or the screen. It could be one of those, it could be all three of those for all I know. Right, well, before I give up, I might as well just double check a few things. So I'm just going to go around, just double check that all these are making a good connection on here. They all look fine. Same for here, I'll just check the traces and everything, but I've got a feeling that it is the screen. Okay, I think I might have found something already. I don't think... So this here, this little transistor, all the legs are shorting together. That's not right, is it? It's possible that I did it, but I think the reason it's doing that is if you look there, it's bent over and there's a jumper behind it and it's touching it. And it's definitely should not be doing that, should it? So the transistor's through here and you can see the jumper behind it here and it's touching it. So all three legs of it are touching that jumper. Now it is possible that I did that, but yeah, because I've had it down like that, but I don't know. But the jumper is raised more than it should be, so I'm gonna just solder that, push that back through. I mean, it might be that. That's pushed through there now, so just add a little bit of solder to these just to make sure it stays there. And you know, it is a bit of a design flaw, that, isn't it? If the transistor does bend that way naturally. Right, so I've just bent the transistor legs so that they're away from it now, and they're definitely not shorting against anything. So I figured now it is worth putting this back together and see if that has made any difference. I'll just check that that transistor hasn't gone. Right, I think it's okay. So that's definitely worth a try. So let's put this back together one more time. One more time. Right, okay, so that's it back together. Let's see if that has made any difference. No. So once again, we're going to have to call this one a no fix, because I no fix it. It's another example of where if I had a working one, I could have swapped the screen over, I could have used a different game. I just can't do anything with this other than what I've tried. Oh well, you can't win them all. Well, I can't win any at the moment.